Hello folks, welcome back. In this tutorial we are going to observe the scope of Spring Beans. For this I am going to create a new project, but please remember it is not required to create a new project for understanding the scope of Spring Beans. You can continue with any existing project even, but for completeness sake I am creating new project. This new project is Maven project I am creating, Maven project, and then next here these are all things we need not to define anything here. Maven archetype quick start, then here scope demo is my project name, and remove the project name from the package. Now I got the project here, scope demo. Here, as our regular practice, we are going to add dependencies and the build plugin. First here we'll add the Spring dependency. After this dependencies entry we'll add the build plugin. Make sure after modifying the pom.xml file, this project should be updated here from Maven update project. After updating the project, and only you can see here Java SE 1.8. Fine. One configuration of the project we have done. Now let us create spring.xml file, where every time we are defining the spring.xml file in src main Java folder, new other XML file. What is the file name? Spring.xml. Now here, so this is done. Now the next step, let us add log4j also to this current project, because we have a lot of work with log4j. This is actually not application requirement. This is for our understanding sake. Log4j is very important in this project. So right click the project, build path, configure build path, go to libraries, add external jars. Make sure log4j your downloaded jar file. Now apply and close. Once after log4j jar file has been added here in the build path, the next step we need to do the log4j properties file. Again, this log4j properties file we are creating in the src main Java folder. New file. What is the file name? log4j.properties. Here let us have the content of a generic log4j properties content here from any of the previous projects. Done up to here. Now here let us define a simple Spring Bean and make sure the Spring Bean properties or Spring Bean configuration we have given in the spring.xml file. After that, let us try to understand the scope of the bean. So the bean may be the member class of package under com.tutorial.beans, and we'll call the bean name is simply demo bean. That is fine. Actually here we don't have any other business than observing the scope. So here public demo. Here in the demo again, instead of having sysout messages, sysout even we can have demo instantiated like this, even you can have, but already we understood the more comfortable messaging on the console is log4j than sysout, especially for the case of understanding the flow in a program. So first let us have a logger. Log equals to logger dot get logger of what is the current class name, demo dot class. Now log dot info, the message demo instantiated. That's all, finish. Now let us go back to the main class. Here in the main class, simply application context equals to new class path XML application context of string. What is the Spring configuration file name? Spring.xml. Now let us ask the context, get a bean of what is the class name or what is the ID that we did not mention in the spring.xml file. Here we need to mention that bean, its ID is simply demo, and which class object is it? com.tutorial.beans.demo. Finished. That's all. Now we'll go back to the main class, and here you ask the demo bean ID. Now demo d1 equals to demo, typecasted object to demo. It is showing some error. What is that error? That import statement has not generated. Just make sure that import statement generated. Now you got an object. Now what we are discussing about in this video about the scope, means how many objects of demo you can find across the application. That is the observation here. So let us call once again demo d2 equals to same demo typecasted context.getBean of demo. Now what we have done, 2 times we got an object. We asked the context to get the bean of demo. So whether the context has given us 2 different instances of demo into d1 and d2, or the single instance 2 different reference variables. Okay, so for understanding this, if d1 equals d2, sys out, what message let us display? Single instance, else sys out different instances. So 2 messages, any one of the 2 messages the console will display sys out, end of the program. Right, now let us execute this project and understand how many objects totally the Spring framework has created and kept in the container. So run as Java application. Only once the constructor has called, you can see the info message. Now single instance and end of the program, means even though you are calling get bean multiple times, Spring framework is not creating different instance when you call the get bean method, but we need to understand at what line of this total application the Spring has created the beans. Okay, to understand that, once again we'll use log here. So static logger log equals to logger.getLogger of this class. What is this class name? app.class. Now log.info before application context. Okay, and then here log.info after application context. Application context retrieval or creation, you can say, not retrieval, actually instantiating the application context creation. Right, now let us observe when the objects were created. See, before application context creation, and this is after application context creation where your beans were created. Just as the result, as and when you have created the application context, the bean has been created, isn't it? See, when the bean has created, before and after application context creation, that means during the application context instantiation, all Spring beans were instantiated. Okay, now we'll have one more flow monitoring statement. Log.info, this is before d1, okay, before d1, and here log.info after d1. Okay, now here once another message, log.info before d2 and log.info after d2. Okay, now you are going to observe here before and after d1 d2 you cannot find anything here. See here, before d1 d2, before d1 and after d1, before d2 and after d2. Why I wrote all these things, you will get to know very soon. Here one of the attributes of this bean is scope. What is that? Scope. Here we have two scopes. By default the scope value is singleton, means whenever you define about any bean here, that bean becomes a singleton. Throughout the application context you get only one instance of the bean. Instead of that, if I want, I can change to prototype. The purpose of prototype is as many times you call get bean, as many times it creates a new bean instead of creation of the application context. Let us observe this. Before instantiating our application context and after instantiating application context, object has not created. Okay, before d1 and after d1, that means whenever you call this get bean context.get bean, bean object created. Okay, then again before d2 and after d2 means between these two lines another demo instance has been created. In that case you observe here d1 equals d2 is not happening, is false. So different instances, as many times you call the get bean, as many times new instance created. So every bean instance is different from the other bean instance. So a different instance came, that is here the if condition failed, d1 is not same as d2. d1 is referring one object, d2 is referring altogether a different object. So you reach to the else block and different instances the message displayed. So this is all about the scope of Spring Beans. Thank you for watching.